Jim Dunford works from his studio in Oxford, where his courses on airbrushing cater for an increasing number of artists and illustrators. He has published a number of guides on airbrushing and has extensive professional knowledge of the subject.
I've come into the studio to talk to you about airbrushing. That is to say, the system itself, the instrument, associated materials, and the possibilities which are achievable by using this art form. You will notice immediately the contrast of its application and its effect. Not necessarily 100% airbrush, which is one of the secrets to combine mediums. That's an interesting one I'll describe later on. And there we have a free-flowing, fine-line application of the airbrush. Quite good fun to do. Of special interest to the artist, and in particular the watercolourist, I would like to show you a picture which has been completed, perhaps 95% using the airbrush, artist inks, and a watercolour paper. The only piece of hand painting on this picture are the boats in the background and the reeds in the foreground. The second illustration will be of particular interest to designers and illustrators, especially the technical illustrator. Let's have a look at it. It requires a considerable amount of pre-planning before committing anything to the art surface. All of you will be asking yourselves, what do you need to start airbrushing? What is the basic requirements? I'll show you. The airbrushes that you see before you represent about 20% of those available. They vary considerably in price range and certainly in their various applications. The choice of art surfaces is quite enormous, and I'm going to show you just a few samples of the most commonly used. All of these surfaces, some of which are for line work, have a very smooth surface, some are highly textured. That surface in particular is very fascinating. We hold it at right angles. We're using a double action airbrush. If we press, we'll hear the air supply only. We will not get colour until I pull this back, which I'm now going to do. And I call this sort of playing with the airbrush and strongly recommend it. So we're beginning to get colour. If I draw away from it, I pull the trigger back, we get a greater deposit of colour. The exciting part now happens. You discover where you have achieved what you intended or not. So we peeled the masking film off and reveal a non-reflective cube. What I would like to say at this stage is that this can be further worked on in other mediums, can have additional oversprays put on it to strengthen the colours. Carefully lift the mask and we see the three colours permutated one on top of other. That's using overspray of 2 or 3 coats. Finish off when you get a desired strength of colour. Those are the 3 spheres for you to look at. Judge for yourself how quickly and effectively they were created. It has been an introduction to the art form, and I've shown you visually several techniques. I think you'll agree that it's worth getting your airbrush out of the drawer again or considering the purchase of one and trying this beautiful creative art form.